2:15. I'd hoped to get this broadcast up about 15 minutes ago, but that's okay because the information is going to be that much better as a result. We're going to wait a moment, let a few people walk in the door before we formally get started. Let me get my words in order today. Guys, we got problems on our hands, I think, coming into this evening. There was some question mark as to how much instability would be remaining after this morning's rounds of showers and thunderstorms. I think that question has, in fact, been answered. There's no doubt that we are going to see some problems here this evening. We are seeing a ton of sunshine across the lower Ohio Valley. Moderate risk has been issued. And all that sunshine is going to quickly destabilize our atmosphere. This is going to happen, I think, really fast this evening. I think all the ingredients are in place for very strong supercell thunderstorms that will have the capability of producing not just very large hail, 3.5 inches in diameter, but also the possibility of damaging winds, maybe destructive winds, 75 miles per hour per the Storm Prediction Center. And then also, unfortunately, that possibility of strong tornadoes. The Storm Prediction Center is even saying the possibility of long track tornadoes. So we'll be covering that during this live update. And that is a way. I just shared that on Twitter. If you don't mind giving it a share, it'll be helpful. You can see we've got the radar we're going to be going to in just a moment, showing that visible satellite, that sunshine that you don't want to see. Normally you want to see sunshine, not on a day like today. You'd rather it stay all cloudy and muddy and yucky. But not today. Not today. We're not going to have that luxury today. We do get the sunshine. We don't get to enjoy it. All right, so that's coming up here. Let's go with... I'm still multitasking a little bit. You can see that moderate risk area, though, right? Huge. Moderate risk area here. And I think this is going to verify. I really do. Moderate risk for Lexington, for Louisville, for Evansville, for Cape Girardeau. There's a large area involved there, obviously. While this is rolling, I'm going to try to get the comments up in front of me so that I can maybe be able to reply to you guys in real time. Let's go see if that live video is up and running. It should be. There you are. And... all right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get started in this live update. Thank you for being here. All right, May 16th. It is a Friday, folks, as we roll on into the weekend here. Let's take a look what's happening on that radar unit. We've got the visible satellite. I've also got the Storm Prediction Center information on here. We started off with a batch of some heavier rain clouds and thunderstorms, and we were hoping these clouds would hold on. Because if you kept the clouds, you would have kept the cooler temperatures, and as a result, that would have resulted in much lower instability factor. And those instability values, that's what you fuel the thunderstorms with. But now that we have full-blown sunshine, we are seeing a ton of heating out there. The result is unfortunately going to be explosive thunderstorm development, which we are already beginning to see developing downstream, where those brighter cloud tops are. Okay, out here towards southeastern Missouri. These are thunderstorms. We're going to investigate these storms, take a look underneath these storms here in just a couple of moments. In the meantime, let me get the word out here on Facebook that we're on here as well. I'd kind of point them over to let them know that we're having this live update. All right, that's up, that's out and running. Looking at that moderate risk of severe weather across portions of the lower Ohio River Valley, much of the state of Kentucky, southern Illinois, southeastern Missouri, far northwestern portions of Tennessee, far northeastern sections of Arkansas. All right, let's get over to current look at the radar. So you can see that moderate risk area that we've got there. We've got the satellite perspective for you as well. So turning off the satellite for a minute just to focus on that moderate risk area. And this does come with an attendant tornado risk as well. That tornado risk is nothing to sniff at. Take a look over here. That's that tornado risk area for today, and it is significant. With that 15%, that's in the red area there for the lower Ohio River Valley. And that does include Louisville. It does include Lexington, Evansville, Paducah, south of St. Louis. All this area is going to be under the gun for some really, really nasty thunderstorms. Let's take a look at the storms that are happening out there right now. We're going over to our radar Omega. Just now seeing those thunderstorms beginning to take off across portions of Missouri. These are rapidly becoming severe as they are encountering quite a bit in the way of instability. Those temperatures are rising very rapidly. As mentioned, we had hoped that the NAM would have been correct. The NAM, that was the model that was holding on to the clouds, but it's just not going to happen here today. As a result, again, the storms are going to go boom, boom. All right. We're going to go to the Storm Prediction Center here, and I want to show you their actual wording. I'll just read it to you over our radar here. Take a look at this. All right, so there's the radar unit. We're gonna go ahead and throw on the thunderstorms. We're gonna throw on fronts and centers of low pressures. We'll put this into motion for you. Going back over that visible. There we go, with everything developing here. So the Storm Prediction Center is saying this: that tornadoes, not just possible, likely, but also they're going to be strong, and also the potential of long track. We're looking at long track tornadoes. So this is what they're saying. A regional outbreak of severe thunderstorms is likely this afternoon into tonight across portions of the middle Mississippi, Ohio, and Tennessee valleys. This will include intense supercells with strong, potentially long track tornadoes and very large hail. The threat for damaging winds in excess of 75 miles per hour will increase into this evening as storms grow into larger clusters. So that's the wording from the Storm Prediction Center. And you can see those storms are already firing up across portions of Missouri. So let's talk about where this is going. So we'll take a look at some of the weather model imagery available to us here. And we've got that loaded. Let's go on over to our main forecast computer. And this time of the year, almost everything is it's about the upper levels. This time of the year, typically you do have low-level moisture that has returned because you need the moisture, you need the heating right. In May, oftentimes, those are kind of automatic humidity heating, although we have more than normal right now. But also, you need a lift, so that can come in the form of fronts. Really, the key ingredient oftentimes this part of the springtime, though, is going to be the upper level forcing. We're talking about jet stream winds, and this is the rascal that has been ejecting out of the Rockies the last 24 hours. Brought severe weather to the northern plains yesterday, Wisconsin, Michigan, several confirmed tornadoes there. But look at all the wind above us. Those are mid-level, upper-level jet stream winds up around 20,000 feet, where the winds are traveling anywhere between about 70 and 90 knots. Okay, so that's a ton of energy above us to fuel those storms. It allows the air to rise. It creates lift in the atmosphere, and that is fuel for that thunderstorm. So a ton of wind energy above us. Let's take a look at the instability factor. This was going to be in question earlier after the earlier round of thunderstorms across Kentucky and southern Indiana, but that has all cleared. We are seeing a tremendous amount of instability that is now regenerating. We can verify that by the fact that we have all that sunshine out there, and we're seeing those temperatures rising in real time as well. So unfortunately, it does look like we're going to see those higher instability values realized as that occurs. Again, it's going to go boom, boom when it comes to thunderstorm development here this evening. So there's a look at those instability values. If you look closely, these values are 3, 4, even in the white there, closing in on 5,000 units of CAPE. This is 6 p.m. this evening. Okay, 6 p.m. I want you to listen. So it's around 6, 7 o'clock as we make our way into the lower Ohio River Valley. The atmosphere will be primed with, again, high levels of instability. And then go a little forward in time, and you can see how the instability drops. That's because we get ransacked with thunderstorms. So we've got wind above us. We've got wind energy. Let's talk about those thunderstorms as they will be developing here. Already moving into portions of southern in eastern Missouri. So this is where we're at now, and this actually looks pretty good. Okay, looking at the timing here. So this model, which is the HRRR, seems to have a pretty good foundation here. Basically its foundation is in reality. It's based on what's happening on radar. So we go forward in time. I'm going to pause it here. 6 p.m. You can see the thunderstorms as they're approaching the Wabash River. By 6 p.m., by 7 p.m., they are into approaching central Indiana, southern Illinois being impacted by these storms. I'm going to take a closer up look at this activity here as it moves from Illinois at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., western Indiana approaching central Indiana, 8 p.m., thunderstorms just explode everywhere. And you can see there's another area where maybe it's interacting with an outflow boundary along that Interstate 64 corridor that does include Lexington and Louisville. Look out for an explosion of thunderstorms around 7, 8 o'clock this evening. Any of these could become tornadic. They will have the tendency to rotate. They will also have the tendency to produce big hail. So we'll want to be on the lookout for that as well. All right, so this is 8 o'clock this evening. Let's move forward in time. 9 o'clock this evening, 10 o'clock this evening. A ton of thunderstorm activity. This would be considered an MCS, a mesoscale convective system. But within it, you're going to have many individual supercell thunderstorms that'll have the possibility of rotation and multiple forms of hazards, multi-mode. When it comes to hail, when it comes to damaging straight line winds, when it comes to the possibility of tornadoes, could be some flash flooding with some of those. The ground's still pretty saturated. And then finally, as we head towards midnight, the storms are going to be in eastern Kentucky, and they're going to lose their punch after that, and we'll lose some heating. But as far as Louisville is concerned, it looks like around 8 o'clock, 8 to 9 o'clock, I think you'll have the worst of the weather near you then. Before it dives to the east, it'll be hitting you a lot sooner than that. If you live out towards Evansville, you can see storms as early as 6, 7 o'clock. Paducah, they come a little bit later in the evening as well, maybe around 7, 8 o'clock for you. All right, there you go. Well, that's what I've got for you so far. Again, the name of the game, it's Big Risk Day with that moderate risk of severe weather across the lower Ohio River Valley. We'll continue to monitor the development of those thunderstorms as they develop in real time. And then as the storms get going this evening, I do anticipate doing live coverage across the lower Ohio River Valley. So be on the lookout for that coverage. Tentatively, maybe around 6, 7 o'clock. We'll get started with that. In the meantime, thanks for being here. If you enjoyed the content of this program, please consider giving me a like, a share, hit the notification bell. That way you know the next time I'm on. Thanks for being on, my friends, and you guys stay alert out there. Stay aware. Stay weather aware, as we say, and that way you will remain blessed, and we'll talk to you.